Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the DJ Bit. It is DJ Loco Lopez bringing you another episode of the DJ Bit. All right, we're going to lower that there. How's everybody doing today? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling really good ever since the last video. I was super motivated to do another video. And before we get started on today's topic, on what I want to talk about today, I just want to give a few shout outs. I want to give some shout outs to the people who watched the last video and commented. So I want to thank you for your comments and your subscription. So thank you very much. I'd like to shout out DJ Raymond 1419. Thank you so much for commenting. Got a new subscriber, Styles 34. We got new subscriber Slaughterhouse Entertainment. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We got another subscriber, DJ Just One Edward. Shouts. Thank you very much. Let's see who else. We've got Angelina D. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. All right, and in the comments we got B-Boy Mac 84. Who was heavy in the comments. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And let's see who else. Stevie Ray Entertainment. Thank you very much for commenting on the video. I appreciate you. Thank you. I hope I'm saying this correct. Joe Rockacala 9951. Thank you so much for being in the comments. New subscriber DJ Smiley. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I believe the last one is Marty the Party 8476. Thank you for being heavy in the comments. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for participating in the last video. That was, it makes it worth it to make these videos and see people participating, engaging, and my last video got flagged for copyright because I don't know if you guys have had this problem. I don't know if any of your channels, you try to use copyright-free, royalty-free stuff, and I thought I was using something that wasn't copywritten, something that was royalty-free, and I got flagged for copyright. So I won't be able to monetize that video, but it's fine. I mean, let's face it, these videos, these early ones, it's probably going to take a while for them to build up to monetization. But in any case, that's not the reason why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for the monetization. I'm doing it because, sincerely, wholeheartedly, I'm doing it just because, man. Just because I love the DJ game. Love it. 40 years, man. 40 years, diehard DJ. So I want to talk DJ. I want to engage with other DJs, mix it up, you know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys when you like, share, and subscribe to the video. It really, really does mean a lot. It motivates the hell out of me to make new videos. So anyway, thank you. Without further ado, let's continue talking about what I'm about to bring up today. There's something that's been going on as of late in technology, and I begin to wonder if it's going to threaten DJs and the DJ culture. You know what I mean? And that new threat is going to be AI. So that's what this video is all about. This video is about AI. Will AI kill the DJ? Or will AI kill the DJ culture? And we're going to talk about it today. Are we done? Are we done as DJs? Are we like the dinosaur now? Well, I have my opinion on it. And first, let's talk about AI in general. So, if you haven't been living under a rock and you know about technology, you know that AI has been very pervasive in society. It's been growing like crazy. It's growing in all fields. I mean, in every area, in every industry, AI is beginning to play a role. And for some people, that is going to mean the end of their livelihood. It really is. Because there are jobs, there are industries where human error needs to be removed. And with AI potentially being much faster at making decisions and processing information than a human, you know, there are going to be jobs that will be replaced by AI. There will be. The question is, will it replace something like the DJ? Okay, because DJ can probably do a lot cooler things than, a AI DJ could do cool things that maybe we haven't thought of, or maybe not. You know what I mean? But let's talk about the DJ culture and all the threats to the DJ culture that have almost taken us out. Okay, so first I want to talk about records. Now, when I started DJing, I was DJing on records. All DJs were DJing on records. If you didn't have turntables, a mixer, if you weren't in line with that standard, then you just weren't a DJ. You couldn't bring a cassette deck with you and call yourself a DJ. Like, you had to have that. Okay, so we were special, and it took skill. It took money, because you had to buy equipment, you had to buy things, you had to buy records, okay, and you had to collect a massive records. So, that made us special. And then the first threat came, the very first threat, which was CDs. So CDs were the first threat to the DJ, because now we had to use a whole new medium to do this thing that we do. And for a long time, it really sucked. I talked about it on my last video. Thank God they released the CDN 88. I mean, they released other, dual deck CD players that could mix. But, that for me, that was the one that saved my life. And I almost quit. I almost quit DJing. So I know other DJs who at that time quit because it wasn't the art form that they recognized. So they decided, you know what, I'm not gonna participate in this anymore. So, it really did threaten DJs. Some of us quit, but some of us kept on. So that didn't kill us. Third, music files. And this one is really important, because DJs have been curating record collections since the beginning of this whole DJ experience, right? And that's what I used to do. I used to order my records from a place called Vinyl Mania, and Vinyl Mania would ship them to me. I would call in an order from Jay. I don't know if you're alive, Jay, but shouts to you. And they would come COD, cash on delivery. And that made me special, because I had records that other people didn't have. And that's what was really important back in the day if you wanted to be a DJ. If you were competing with other DJs, your collection meant everything, because no one was going to hear the same set list from another DJ. And back in the day, we didn't have technology like the internet, so you really didn't copy each other. Everybody had their own style, and that made us special. So these music files, they really threatened the DJ. They threatened our livelihood, because now everybody could get them. Everybody could download these files, okay? And pretty much overnight, I saw people that had thousands of tracks, more than I ever did on vinyl or CD. So I had to accommodate. I had to adjust. I had to follow suit and do the same thing. And thank God I survived that threat. That threat was around for a while, but it still didn't take over DJing because there's some other elements to DJing that just can't be duplicated. And then lastly, I'm gonna mention streaming. And the reason I'm mentioning streaming is because that has also threatened the DJ. I know for sure that it has impacted my business, okay? And streaming, what some places have done is they have completely replaced the DJ with a playlist, a Spotify playlist, which it's not the same. It's just not the same. It isn't the same. I've been to places where they do this, and I can see the faces. Nobody's really that into the music. Partially because it's not going to mix, okay? It's not going to mix correctly. It's not going to, well, in certain venues that I play at, I mean, they do play the full song because I DJ for some Latin events where the whole song is requested, but in a nightclub, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do that because, you can't, streaming services are not going to short mix like Spotify and all that. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. So, it's never going to perform better than a DJ in a club. So streaming has definitely impacted us, and it threatens the DJ, but I don't necessarily see it being such a threat that it's going to completely remove the DJ. It's just not going to do it. So here's what I think, okay? Nobody wants to see proven through time and time again, technology is great, but people aren't going to be impressed by technology in areas of creativity, okay? Or in areas where humans shine. I'm going to give you a couple examples, okay? Like this picture illustrates right here. That's not going to happen. There used to be jukeboxes, okay? There have been jukeboxes since the beginning of time, but jukeboxes never, ever were a real replacement for a DJ. They never were. They just never were. So I can't imagine that they would be a replacement now. There's a very big reason why we like what we like, and that is for this very reason right here. People want to watch other humans do cool things. That's really the bottom line. Is people like watching humans do cool things, not technology. I'll give you a perfect example. If you watch a bodybuilding competition or you watch a strongman competition, okay, and you see these guys moving this crazy weight around of like 500 pounds, 750 pounds, like, they're lifting cars, they're doing all kinds of crazy feats of strength, right? We watch that because as humans, we're relating with another human, okay? There are cranes that lift way more than that. There are cranes that lift thousands of pounds, tons, hundreds of tons. There are cranes that could lift an entire section of a building and place it on a pedestal, okay? But would we watch that? Would we watch that with as much awe as we would a human that could surpass certain feats, right? Let's say there was a competition for cranes. I mean, there's a theoretical limit to how much a crane can lift based on a bunch of factors. So once you get to that limit, it's like, okay, all right, that crane can lift a lot. But humans, we keep itching past a little bit more and a little bit more and one more pound and one more second. And, like we're constantly striving and achieving. And as humans watching this, we relate. relate, and we cheer that on. We see that in ourselves, okay? Because it's something that we would want to do. It's something that it's either impossible to do for some people and we live vicariously, or it's something that we want to do, that if we practice enough or we get the skill, we can do it ourselves as well. And I think that's this human connection that we'll have that just will never be beaten. Okay, I just don't see where humans are going to watch an AI and have that same enthusiasm. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Well, let's watch this next video here. Let me mute the music. And I got to remember to unmute the music when I get back from this video. I did this last time. I've had to record this a few times. All right. But anyway, let's take a look at this next video, okay? This is going to be an example of what I'm talking about.
Hold up, man. I need you to break it all the way down. We in solid. Break it down. What? Say what? What? Break it down, Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for my DJ. Your fucking DJ. DJ Jazzy Jeff.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. If you watch that clip, okay, if you watch that clip and you're a real fan of DJing, immediately your excitement level goes up, because that's a human doing that. A human thought of that. Jazzy Jeff, that's one of his oldest bits, and you can watch it over and over and over again, and you'll still get hyped up about it. You'll still get hyped up. And, you know, that is a very, very particularly human thing. Okay? That's human. If we were to remove Jazzy Jeff from that equation, from that video, and we were to prop up a computer in a crowd like that, and we were to play that specific routine generated from a computer, would you be impressed? No, you wouldn't be impressed. It wouldn't seem impressive to you. It wouldn't even be fun to watch. It wouldn't even be as entertaining as it is. So that's because humans love to watch humans do cool things. All right. So the next thing is that AI will most likely never understand human emotion. Okay. And this is important to note. This is super important to note that AI just will never understand human emotion. Okay. I'll give you a well, let's go into the presentation. I will show you why that is, okay? Have you ever been DJing and you've been on stage and you look into the crowd and you can see that somebody is obviously not happy with what you're doing? We've all done it. Listen, I've been DJing 40 years. I can tell you right now that this has happened to me. You'll see somebody in the crowd, somebody who's just not feeling what you're doing. You can't please everybody. You can have a whole room of people that are dancing, and you can have that one guy that's just kind of like not feeling your selection, just not impressed by you, whatever the reason is, okay? And I, as a DJ, as a human, can look at that guy, and that human, my human connection to that guy, it often motivates me to want to make that guy dance, okay? It's like a challenge. It's a challenge to me. Like, I'm going to make that guy respect what I'm doing up here. And I'm going to do that without losing the crowd. How can I do this? You know, so I'll study that person. I'll study them on the dance floor. I'll study them at their table. I'll I'll be watching them. I'll see if their head is bobbing. I'll see which songs they're kind of vibing to. I'll see if they're mouthing the words, lip syncing the words to something. And in my head, I'll start doing that whole Pandora thing where I'm thinking of all the different types of songs that this person might like. And I curate, a set list in my head, and I play it and see if that guy will get up and dance, or if all of a sudden, their thumbs down turns into a, oh my God, you got me. That's the challenge, okay? And that's uniquely human. That is, once again, uniquely human. Like, I know that AI will be able to use cameras to read faces and all of that. But will AI have that innately built into it? Will it look at a crowd, and will it look at the faces and know what they want? Okay. I don't think so. I don't think they will. I really, there's another example too. There's a quick example that I want to say, is that, let's say for instance, I'm DJing a party, and I know this crowd. Okay, I just know this crowd, and there's music that's nostalgic to this group. Like, I have played for fraternities before, okay? And based on the year that they went to school and based on certain criteria, sometimes I can glean that there is a specific song that they all like. Or they might tell me that right in the middle of a performance, and I'll work it into a mix, okay? And it drives them insane. Especially if I give them a little taste of it before I fully unleash the song. There's a vibe that's generated by humans, and I don't think AI can do that. I don't think AI can understand the nostalgia and make a room completely excited about a song or a group of songs. You know what I mean? I don't think AI will be able to read a crowd that well. It might be able to do it a little bit, but there's that two-way thing. It's going to be the DJ who responds to the crowd and the crowd that responds to the DJ, and I just don't think that two-way communication, that unspoken communication that only humans really understand, I don't think that's going to happen with AI. And then the other thing is how frustrating AI can be. Okay. AI just won't, it just won't know certain things, and it'll be frustrating to humans. If you've ever made a phone call into a company and you've had to talk to that automated line, or you've been with a chatbot, the chatbot's limited. That you're just going to get the runaround. You're going to get circular conversation with it, and it gets really, really frustrating. Well, AI does kind of show that too, even with music. I've used AI to help prepare set lists, okay, and it does an okay job, but it requires me as a human to relate to my experience over 40 years and to relate to the people that I'm catering to kind of understand all these different criteria for what I'm going to play or why I'm going to play it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, AI can't do that. And it's very frustrating. Like, I've had AI do some things for me, and I'm always just kind of underwhelmed with it. You know what I mean? It's good for certain things, but I'm underwhelmed by it a lot. So, I don't think AI can do what we do. All right, so let's move on. I want to talk about my experience using AI, which I've just finished talking about, my experience. Whereas AI, it just kind of gets you there. But on a creative level, like for instance, if you've used, you can get really creative with prompting, but and I've gotten creative with prompting, and I can kind of get what I want, but it's never quite what I want. It's never quite what I want. If I want something, I've got to generate it myself. So if I want to see an image, if I'm skilled enough to draw, I can draw that image and I can get it exactly how I want it in my mind. You know, and the same thing with music. If there's something that I want to hear, some emotion that I want to express through music, I can do that. And AI just, it doesn't, I don't feel that it has that ability to connect. So that's been my experience with AI. Let's see. And that's because, yeah, it doesn't know what you want all the time. It just doesn't know. It thinks it might know based on whatever input you gave it, but it doesn't know what you want all the time. So, you know, that's another thing to consider. And humans can read subtle body language. This all goes back to what I was talking about, you know, at the when you're standing on stage and you're reading a crowd. We know subtle body language. We know, and I don't know if you know this as a DJ, but I've looked into the dance floor and I can see when they're just starting to get a little bit tired. They're dancing differently. Like they're still moving, but they're kind of slowing down a bit. And I could see it on their faces. They're kind of looking around like, is everybody going to continue dancing? And then it's time to switch up. You know it's time to switch up. As a matter of fact, if you got to that point, you went too far. So I feel like that's a uniquely human thing. We can read subtle body language, and AI just won't be able to do it. So what do we have next on the slide here? Yeah, so I just don't think AI is going to do it. You know what I mean? I don't see AI as being something so threatening that it's going to kill the landscape for DJs. It's just not going to. I really don't feel that. You know what I mean? So what do I think of AI? What do I think is next for AI? Well, you know, let's think of it this way, man. We got to use it as a tool. We got to use it like a tool, just like any other tool that we have at our disposal right now. Okay? Think of AI as a tool. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid it's going to come take your job. It's not going to come take your job. Not DJs anyway. And for the reasons I just said, I don't think I don't think people are going to look at a computer on stage, no matter how pretty they decorate it. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes my faith in human is a little bit short. But I will say I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think a computer on a stage performing is going to be great. I think people are still going to want to see people doing things. So I don't think DJs are threatened. DJs. Other jobs, yeah. DJs, not so much. And so we got to think of it like any other tool. Okay? Just think of it as another tool. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about us DJs and being threatened, okay? AI is not going to buy equipment. AI is not buying any gear. So there's a whole lot of industry out there that's catering to the human DJ that, I mean, because let's think about it. All you need is a computer. You don't need the mixer. You got the media files. You're just playing media files, so you don't need any of the equipment except for speakers. So I don't see I don't see any of those companies surviving. So they're going to spend money to make sure that you want to continue DJing, or that they pick up new DJs all the time, because I've seen that market trend go up too. So yeah, I don't think AI is going to do anything. I really don't. You know, we're just, we're just going to continue our thing. You know, this is our thing. This is a human, particularly human thing. We're not going to lose anything to AI. All right, well, guys, you know, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me on this video. Continue rocking. Use AI as a tool. Don't worry about it. It's not going to threaten you. Don't let it threaten you. I can tell you, as a survivor of many threats to the DJ culture, none of them have ever taken over. Not CDs, files, jukeboxes, playlists, none of that. People always want a DJ. So with that, I just want to say keep rocking, keep having fun with it, keep being creative, keep being uniquely human. Don't worry about AI. It's not going to take your job. At least not yet. I could be wrong, and when you go back and watch this video, you can leave a comment and said, you jerk, you said AI would never take my job, but I really don't think it's going to be the case. In any case, thank you guys so much for joining me. If you're watching this video, please like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It does help me a lot, and it motivates me to make more content for you guys. It really does. So thank you so much for joining me here on the DJ Bit. Talk to you on the next one, man.